What's going on, Gooner Nation? What's happening, people? Transfer updates today. But first of all, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. Like. Just looking at a few rumblings that are going on today. Some can confirm, some can't confirm. But Miguel Gutierrez, Arsenal have inquired. There has been a call that has gone through to inquire about the Real Madrid left back. Look, he's a quality young player, but he's in the same situation as Martin Odegaard was last year, or maybe even 2 years ago, where you have a quality player, again, valuation around in the mid 30 millions, and can't get into the Real Madrid team. So right now they're looking, Real Madrid, Barcelona, both cash strapped, both really struggling for cash flow at the moment. So you can see why the first thing they would look at is trying to offload some of their young talent, because that's easy, especially when you're talking about 20, 30, 40 million per player. If you sell, 3 or 4 of your young players there, you could easily get to 100 million euros. And that is something that would be very, very good business for Real Madrid. Not many teams around Europe can actually do that because of the crop of the talent that are coming through there. But Miguel Gutierrez is definitely one of them. My issue with that is you don't spend 34 million on the left back when you have Kieran Tierney. It just doesn't. You paid 27 million for Kieran Tierney, and he's your guy. Most of you are saying he's Arsenal's future captain. So you don't go and then spend 34 million on a backup. It just, Ryan Bertrand was there for free, and that hasn't worked out yet. Both parties have not completely destroyed the deal, but the way things were going, when talks break down the way they did with Ryan Bertrand, it's not really positive moving forward. And look, he'll go and find a deal that works for him, and if he doesn't, he'll probably be back to the table. But for Arsenal to reinvest that amount of money on a potential left back, whether it's another loan, if it's a loan, I'll take it. Yeah, a loan would be superb in this situation, but long term, there's nothing there. Kieran Tierney's 23, got so much upside. I mean, we saw that with Scotland, and we saw when he wasn't in Arsenal's team last season, how much it really affected us in terms of the creativity side. But in the attacking sense, he was Scotland's engine, and you got to love that about the player, and we value him. So from that perspective, I think that it's a non-starter for us to bring in someone who may potentially replace him. I don't think that's, especially when you don't have a bona fide right back. He doesn't play right back as well, so it's not like there's an option to move him there. But Aston Villa are back at it again. Remember when I said to you that they're trolling us? They're back at it again. They've put through an improved bid of 30 million for Emile Smith-Rowe. And Arsenal not only have rejected it, but they have said he is not for sale. Because in the first time when Arsenal rejected, they didn't really quote that, did they? They didn't say Emile Smith-Rowe is not for sale. They just said, no, it's rejected, it's not happening. And Villa came back with a second bid. And I think really by saying to them, he is not for sale, end of, and you can put that in caps, then you're really closing the book on Emile Smith-Rowe leaving Arsenal. And look, like I said to you guys last week, if they put down 60 million, it's a deal. It's done. Yeah, I will take that money and I will buy myself a Salah and Mane and build the team up, just like Liverpool did when they sold Coutinho. And just like Spurs did when they sold Bale, and Chelsea did when they sold Hazard. Chelsea spent 200 million last year, and then it won in the Champions League. If Arsenal could get bona fide big-time money for selling one of their upcoming stars, I would do the deal. But they're nowhere near that. And for 30 million, get on your bike, son, and get out the hell out of it. It ain't happening. Not a chance. So I think we can really kiss goodbye any worries or fears Arsenal fans had of losing one of their prime players and then move on from there. Also, the Ben White situation has been escalating. Arsenal had a 40 million bid rejected, as you guys know. They're going in to propose a 45 million bid with 5 million add-ons incentives. And Brighton have named their price. Brighton have said, we want 50 million with 5 million add-ons. And they're raising the bar all the time. And look, So what do I feel about that? My thoughts on that is he's probably worth that amount. John Stones was sold a couple of years ago for 50 million to Man City. He was atrocious. He's improved, but he was atrocious at the beginning. I still don't rate him as good as Rob Holding. There's no way any of you guys can convince me that John Stones is better than Rob Holding. Not a chance. The other thing is as well is Maguire. Harry Maguire went to Man United for 80 million, and that seems to be the going price for a upper echelon English centre-back, and that's exactly what Ben White is. I showed you guys his statistics, which I'm going to put up here again, when he's compared to all the other English players, and he tops them out in basically every category. So he is right now the de facto centre-back. He's the Harry Maguire type centre-back on the market at this present time, yet his price tag is nowhere near 80 million. So if Arsenal can do the deal for 50 million, it's a done deal in my opinion. Pull the trigger and make it happen, and your defence would be vastly improved. We finished third in the league last season. We will be improving on that in the upcoming season if we buy a Ben White. The one thing I didn't like, a lot of you guys are a fan of TalkSport Simon, and the one thing that he did, he came out last week and he said, why is a Ben White going to Arsenal? He's got so much more other teams that he can go to if he wants to win things and be successful. Well, first of all, how many other teams are in need of centre-backs? Because the last time I checked, Liverpool, okay, Van Dijk, we get that, but that's not going to be happening in terms of the injury concerns next season, so he's going to be coming back. So and Man City, well, we know they spent 400 million on defenders and they got it right. They're the best defense in the league. Chelsea are the second best defense in the league and certainly don't need centre backs. Certainly don't need to be spending 50 million on one. And then you've got to look at Manchester United, who was already invested in their defence, and we just talked about Harry Maguire as well. So those are basically the top four teams. Yes, Spurs are desperately in need of a centre-back because Eric Dyer has been dying there last season. But then if you're Ben White, why would you even look at a Spurs? They ain't won nothing since 2008, 13 years. They don't look like they're going to be winning anything. They don't even have a manager, and they're about to lose their best player and captain. So you talk about Arsenal building up and going through transition. What about Spurs? So Spurs are not even an option. So sorry, Simon Jordan, but if you're thinking about telling the player in the media, what are you doing going to Arsenal, you kind of need to button your mouth, because it's the player's choice where he wants to go, not yours. You're not his manager, his agent, or anything in that respect. So yes, you might give your opinion, but we heard things like this when Arsenal was going after Luis Suarez. Guys are quick to jump out in the media and say, don't go there, don't go there. And Arsenal have been that kind of club, haven't we? We've been that kind of club where the media and the pundits jump on them as soon as they realise they're about to vastly improve and then get up there in the upper echelon and challenge for the title. Then they shout it down. They don't want Arsenal to compete. That's the truth. The truth is they do not want us to compete. And they are afraid that we will be buying players who will enable us to compete. Because if Luis Suarez came to Arsenal, that would have made us championship contenders. We had just lost Robin van Persie. We were looking at, we had money. Yeah, money had come into Arsenal. We had found out that he actually did have a contract clause, which Liverpool lied about. John Henry said there's nothing of the sort. And then 2 years later, John Henry admitted that there was a £40 million contract clause. But it's just the manner of which Arsenal went about their business, which was very unprofessional. I don't know who signed that off, whether it was Ivan Gazidis, whether it was Dick Law. It was probably the both of them, which is the reason why Arsenal have been suffering in the transfer market with negotiations for what seems like a lifetime now. But the fact of the matter is the media don't want us to improve. And that is the reason. Simon Jordan, when you look at all the other things that are going around with Man City being linked with Harry Kane and Chelsea and Man United and all this, I don't hear a word of him talking about those teams and potential players. But as soon as it comes to Arsenal, he's got this love-hate relationship with Arsenal, and at the first sign of improvement, he tries to dog us out. So what? We're in a transition. You know, we're not doing very well. 8th is the worst that Arsenal can get. And 8th is the best that Brighton can get. So in terms of the upside, look how many honours that Arsenal have won. Even in their down years, Arsenal are still winning trophies. So don't talk to somebody like Ben White as Arsenal would be a bad move. Arsenal, he would make Arsenal's defence even greater. They got a very good defence right now. He would make their defence great. And supplying help to the midfield and dribbling and his passing ability, Ben White would change this team a lot, and that's why Mikel Arteta's in for him. In hindsight, thinking about it now, right back, defensive midfielder, I'm not sure. I think they would slot him in next to Gabriel. I really do. And then they would give Arsenal more capabilities to make money in the market. You would definitely be selling William Saliba, make no doubt about it. That's definitely happening if Ben White comes in. I don't see a scenario where William Saliba excels at Arsenal with a Gabriel, a Rob Holding, although Callum Chambers right back, so let's not put him into the mix at the moment, and a Ben White. I don't see that happening. And I've been challenging you guys with Saliba for a year now, and I still don't see anything to point to me that William Saliba will be successful at Arsenal. And if he is, as I said, I'll eat humble pie. I've said that 2 or 3 times, and I'll keep my hand up, because you know me, if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. Yeah? But for what I can see now, guys, now, and the player knows that. That's why the player's saying, yeah, Monaco's come talking to me, if a few teams have come talking to me, let's find out what they'll do, because he wants to start. William Saliba wants to play. How would you feel if you were Saliba, being at Arsenal for 2 years, not even starting a single game, not even against Mold, not even against Dundalk, would you start me? And you starting everybody else. You are feeling devalued as a player. And players want to feel valued. So already you've got that in the back of your mind. So yes, you're going into pre-season with a good foresight, and you're going in there confident because you've had a good season. Yeah? All 11 player in your league. Yeah? Really good accolades for William Saliba. But your manager didn't choose you. He don't like you. You're not an Arteta player. So therefore, I don't see things ending up well, although I pray and I hope that things will turn out well for him, because look, guys, quality centre-backs are in a big need right now around Europe, and to find one is, especially a good one, is very rare. That's why Arsenal are paying 50 million for Ben White. So, more news on Hector Bellerin. Hector Bellerin seems to be the merry-go-round. Every minute he's being linked with a different team in a different country. This time it's Italy and it's Inter Milan. Milan would be great. We talk about Paris and their fashion wear. How about Milan? But listen, it's guys, don't sweat it, man. The transfer market has only been open for a short period. So it's not like things are happening now which will define the transfer market. We've got to give these things, we've got to let them blow over a little. The Euros will be over in a couple of weeks. Players will be free, on holiday, have more time to discuss with their agents about potential moves. And by that time, we'll be enjoying the Olympics. So listen, I'm going to leave it right there, guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And like this video. I'll see you guys in the next one later. Peace, and I'm out of here. Right back at you, man.